CNC.
Test, test.
Hey, does that? Has it been on the whole time? Okay.
Okay, we're picking back up with 48 and 49. This will be CNC's lots. An incredibly impressive pair. They are Simple Man's Hero, Anchorman, Bone in Hand. I was telling Ryan earlier that I've told 2 or 3 people about how much I like this blue one, and just every time, what are the gilts like? What are the gilts like? And I love this blue one. I love this blue one of CNC's. Well, I've really liked the Simple Man pig, so that makes a lot of sense. So, good pair, 48, 49, blue one's 48, belted one's 49. They are litter mates out of Simple Man.
Yep, and it is a very nice pair of gilts here, no doubt. I seen this blue one back in the barn last night. That one's very impressive for a light cross kind of a gilt to have that kind of bone and foot and skull to her, and yet so good in terms of her just lines and the way she gets out and goes, awfully good. And her sister over there, probably a little stouter in terms of just overall volume, but at the same time still one balance, eye appeal, still so functional, so good. Very nice pair of gilts here from CNC.
John Mark's got that one flag broke for you, and Kelsey's got the other one whip broke for you, so just kind of pick your poison on what you want to do there. Okay, coming in next, as soon as we get those kind of shuffled out there, we'll have Milner. So he's going to start with his 2 male pigs. It'll be lot 50 and lot 51. I will tell you the Cromer wider belted 51, he said he had a little belly knot and he got that thing fixed. He will guarantee. 50 is the thin belted one. It Ain't Easy Toronto. Dam is a litter mate to the Granite Houston, and 23. Sire by It Ain't Easy. And then 51 is a Toronto Curl Intentions Never Before. So be a full sib to the Granite Houston.
Yeah, and a very good pair here for them to start off with. This thin belted one, you talk about stout. That one has got all kinds of power, all kinds of shape, big kind of bones and feet and everything. This 51, the little chromed up or wider belted one, that one is one that I don't care if he's a full brother to somebody or not, and I know that hog was very good, but that one right there is just kind of got the right kind of pieces and right kind of parts. Looks like the kind that's going to feed later on down the road, have a tremendous kind of a future. Very good pair for them to start off with here.
So those males will go out, and he will drop a pair of gilts in that'll be 52 and 53. So 52 would be a Toronto Curl Intentions Never Before. So 52 would be a full sib to the Granite Houston, and then 53 would be an It Ain't Easy Toronto Curl Intentions. So that'd be a It Ain't Easy on a litter mate to the Granite Houston, 52 and 53.
Yeah, and again, a nice pair of gilts here, much like how we just talked those last males. You talk about some that are just busted open wide and stout and yet flexible. And, whether you're talking about these being show gilts for the time period now or something that you need to look at to try to get bought and put back into the sow herd, I think this pair right here definitely have those kind of qualities and those kind of things that a person needs to see them in person or definitely talk to somebody about them because I think they've got a tremendous amount of value to them.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Jason's goal in life is to sell and offer his best, and he could have he's not a guy that does this for a living or anything. He does it because he enjoys it, and he could have very easily said this litter mate to this Granite Houston, we're going to just suck back and keep. But anyways. Okay, Kenneth Brooks. He's going to do things a little opposite here. He's going to bring his 56 and 57 first, Chester Mills. I believe all these are backyard Jack in the Box, though, right, Ryan?
I'm not for sure.
I believe they're all backyard Jack in the Box.
Yes.
So that sow would have been the sow that he bought at the source from Sloan that he gave all the money for. So I'll let Ron talk these. He's much more of a Chester guy than I am. But I will tell you there's a gilt that I thought was real impressive going to the wash rack last night. These will all be backyard Jack in the Boxes, and I think they are an incredibly stout bone and dense for Chester hogs.
There's no doubt. Brooks brings this pair in, and you talk about just stout. These, in terms of just width, bone, foot, extremely stout. We had that backyard boar. It was one that we sold there at the Backyard Bash last time, and that's exactly what he looked like at this stage in terms of one that's just incredibly dense and stout, and yet still very good in terms of their functionality on their feet and legs. That sow that they're out of, that is one impressive creature in her own right, to be one that's got that kind of a head and neck stamped, and she stamps it as far as on these pigs as well. So very good set of males here that Kenneth brings in his first kind of group.
So yeah, that again, Ron, will be 56 and 57. That's the males, and now he'll run 54 and 55. Those will be the gilts. This is our second preview. The first one kind of cut off, and we'd made some announcements about doing some more previews through the weekend for people that are here in person. I would encourage you, if you want to see these things or if you like them, you got over 24 hours probably to get to Altus, and we'll run them for you anytime that you want to see them, any pigs you want to see. So these be 54 and 55, the Chester gilts that Kenneth brought. They're burner phone boxed outs. So they're not litter mates then. Wait, I got all messed up. I thought the Barras were litter mates. The Barras are mates. We're sorry. 54 that Kenneth's on is a burner phone boxed out, and 55 that Kelsey's on is a Delta box office. So the 54 would be a gilt that the mother of the one litter would have been the champion Chester gilt at OIN 22, and then the 55 that Kelsey is on come from Kinesi.
Yeah, the 55 gilt that's on video right now, very, very stout made kind of a gilt, and I think that would be actually mother would be a full sib to big screen that he bought from Kinesi, and yes, very good gilt, and has that kind of stoutness about her skull and stoutness about her front end, just an awfully good kind of a gilt. And then the other 55 gilt down there, that one, let's see, where?
No, 54. Kenneth's on 54.
Yep. Kenneth's on 54. That's a burner phone, and you study those burner phones and what they've done in the past. She has a burner phone kind of a look about her front end and about an extension that she has up through her front end. Those kind of hogs that just continuously show their way up to the top end to each one of them Chester shows. Burner phone looks like it clicked extremely good on this sow once again. So and to have that kind of a backing of a mama in there, very nice pair of Chester white females.
Okay, Grant Wilbur coming to us next. So Grant's going to bring us a little blue bear that is a State of the Union curly cracker. That's 58, the little blue bear. Mother of the 10 litters would have came from H8. She herself was littermate the Reserve York at Fort Worth. And then it says she recently raised the 3rd overall white cross at CYU, and he thinks the State of the Union was killer on her. And that's 59 too. 59 as the gilt, and those are litter mates. So I will tell you, when I was here, he unloaded really late last night, but I thought this blue one was just awesome. This blue Blair.
No doubt, a pair of mates here that Grant brings in, and again, have that State of the Union kind of look when you talk about bone and great big kind of feet. Still yet good in terms of the extension that they have through their front end, and this little blue guy right here, I think has got an awfully good kind of a future for himself later on down the road. All the indicators, and yet still flexible in the way he kicks that hawk out back behind him. Kelsey's on the, I guess she's pretty much solid white. White gilt that's a mate there, and I think another one that again, State of the Union stamped them, and that's what they look like in terms of head and neck and extension up front, stout in terms of shape and power, and yet good in terms of the length and the stride on either end. Nice pair of hogs here for Grant to start out with.
Besides, I just had a bite of Griffin's prime rib sandwich that Hicks cooked over here. And if you're not even interested in pigs, but you're out there listening, it'd be worth coming just for the food.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And I kind of snuck out there myself and kind of did a little bit of snacking as we were having some internet troubles. And but the amount of food that Hicks put on the grill and the amount that he's got cooked, if you're within sounding distance, I would say, or Facebook Live, and you got time, and there'll be plenty of food left here, that's for sure.
All right, Grant will now bring us a pair of belted ones. Be 60, which is a Say It Hero, and 61, which is a Cross Gilt. The Cross Gilt is a Simple Man, no intro. Grant is as high on his Simple Mans as he is anything, I think. And that Say It, or that 61 litter is a green pig, but I think very, very good. And then this Say It male, this is probably the first time I've seen him outrun, but I'm not sure walking around the barn last night there was a more impressive pig just standing in the pen than this 60 Say It male.
Absolutely. That 60, he's a little smaller, if you will, amongst this set, but, I mean, that kind of bone and foot on a little bitty guy, that guy's got awfully neat. Again, big blade, big forearm, stout skull, good one. And this 61 gilt, another one that I think all she needs is time and a good feed bucket, because that one there has got all the pieces and parts in her, extension, and yet still is good about her skull and good about her neck. Hind leg is awfully dense and awfully stout. I think that one, again, another high quality kind of pair that Grant brings us.
We'll run those last two of Grant's out, and we'll have Seabury come in. When we text Seabury in our little group deal of all the collective people and ask him if he wanted to come, he's like, yeah, man, if I got one good enough, I'll come. And I think that's what's really cool about Seabury is this guy, dude, he'd come if he's got one good enough. And he is really high on this blue gilt, I know. That's a State of the Union snafu. And I think these are actually both State of the Union snafus. I think they're litter mates, but the blue one. So the sow would have been a bred sow purchase from Mickey Peck, and she accounted for a handful of cell makers last year there at the San Antonio Gilt Show. I think this pig, this blue blanketed gilt, just looks like one that's just going to get better and better as she grows.
Oh, I totally agree. This blue blanket, no offense to Seabury, but I actually went to bed last night before he got here, and so this morning whenever I seen her hop up, I was like, holy cow, what is that? That one there, in terms of just width and yet so proportional about her build, really good in terms of just width on either end and yet still extended up front, awfully good kind of a blue gilt. And not to take anything away from this brother, because, I mean, you put him in a light cross division, and this one here, to have that kind of head and neck, the way it comes right out of the top of his blade, still yet good shape, good pinned, nice pair here, especially litter mates here that he brings us in this first round.
Yeah, and again, I will just tell you, like I said, he said, I'll come if I've got one good enough, so I don't think that he would have trekked down here the 4 hours that it took him had he not had one that he was proud of, and I think he's proud of that pair.
With good reason.
Lot 4 dropping in. This be a Sunset Crickets that JD brought us, and it said, honestly, if it wasn't for the group of lifelong friends putting this cell together, I would have backed out. We're a little bit overextended at the moment, but the homies called, so I'm sending one. So to just tell you the honest truth, I was at his house the other day, and he's got a bunch of these Sunsets around, probably 20 or so of them, and they are damn impressive. And I said, JD, you have to bring that big-legged white one. And so kind of talked him into it, and I think that's a very, very impressive pig. He'll slow down here in a minute and kind of give you a look, but that is a solid white one, and that is a Sunset Crickets.
Well, again, another solid white one, as we talked some earlier, that has got tremendous kind of quality and good to him. Yeah, that is one ginormous legged little solid white one. If you've seen him in the back, I don't know why he's wanting to get out here and hop and skip and jump quite as quick as what he is. But that one, in terms of the width and power that he has up through his front end with that kind of bone and structures on him, awfully good kind of a barra. I think that one's got a tremendous kind of a future for himself later.
Okay. We're going to get into the mullet consignments now. So this first one will have, I think there's 4 pigs in here. This is a pen of males. I think they're all males. There might be one gilt, but these are probably some of the stoutest males that you'll see on your screen today. Cole sent me a lot of stuff here to read, but 66 is an all-out trumpet. Mom was a $25,000 PT purchase from the Winters family. She is the best young sow at the farm, and her pigs were good this summer. 67 is an all-out, no intros mom. That's impressive. Sow does not miss. 67 is a State of the Union Nomad. Mother will be the $33,000 one that John and Holden bought together at OYE. She had a $23,000 board pig at King's and a cell-making gilt for Holden last year at the city. And then 73 is a State of the Union Trumpet. Mother would be a mate to the $25K PT purchase, and that is the mom of tags 65 and 66. So we'll try to get you some numbers here as we get on them and kind of tell you which pig's which. And so you can kind of see those. Kelsey is on 71. And now, yep. Brett's on the half belt, which would be the one out of No Intro's mom.
There we go. This one that Kelsey's got, again, just to kind of reiterate what Tyler said, these things are stout. You talk about bone and foot, all kinds of just power and nose, and yet still very good on feet and legs. No doubt as these things come in the ring, you have to be impressed with, and in terms of just skull shape and bone and foot, and yet still being up on their pasterns and good on their toes. Again, impressive group here, but I think if you kind of want to break those down and all that, there's a couple of these that a guy really needs to sit back and look at. The off-belted hog that's going across there, just kind of ran across there, is awfully impressive. Again, this one that Kelsey has that's on your screen right now.
71.
That's 71. That one's probably a little bit greener in terms of his makeup, and yet at the same time, center rib in that guy, the way he comes out of the top of his blade in terms of shape, awfully nice pair, or awfully nice bear there. Again, just a little group of 4 here that are awfully good in terms of just stoutness and feature. Probably, as you said earlier, maybe one of the stouter sets in terms of that we're going to see coming through the offering here.
Yeah, one thing I will say, I know everybody thinks we're going to get on here and just talk about the pigs, try to hype them up and stuff, but that 66 literally has maybe the biggest, squarest hind leg of a baby pig that you're going to see this time.
I totally agree.
John's going to bring his 68, 69, 70, and 72 next. So 68 and 69 say that they're simple man, no intros. Mom would be the $13,000 she-sell purchase from Corb. Her pigs this spring won a lot on the West Coast. 70 would be a State of the Union Nomad. Mother was the $33,000 sow that John and Holden bought at OYE. And then 72 is State of the Union No Moss. Awesome blue male out of No Intro's sister. So we'll try again to get you some tag numbers kind of as they come by and they're on the screen.
Well, they're wanting to kind of jump out here and hot foot around, if you will, and yet I found it interesting in what you said on their notes, because the one that just, not because of his color, but the one that just gravitate to is that blue one. There's a lot of neat pieces in that blue one in terms of just feature and chest and bone and foot. That one's very, very impressive, awfully good kind of a blue bear, and yet at the same time, not to take anything away, because these other 3 that we've got out here, there's a pair of gilts that I think you better sit back and you better study in terms of just being awfully good. I mean, this chest floor in this little bitty gal is very impressive, and that is a huge forearm, huge blade, great big hind leg, nice gilt there. The one that we've got kind of coming across the screen now, again, with that kind of extension, and yet still that kind of shape, just so flexible, awfully good gilt in her own right. So another 4, if you will, from John that much like what John likes to put together. They're sound, flexible, good design hogs that have just got great big kind of legs and great big kind of feet.
What I'll kind of echo that Ryan was saying here is that these pigs are just really, really impressive, and kind of like we were talking about those 14-litter pigs with TKOs earlier in the previous stream that we had going. If you're within driving distance of this place, you just need to come look at them yourself, because I don't think you can appreciate like those 2 gilts or this little blue pig until you kind of get them out and get on top of them yourself.
I totally agree. These, we've already kind of, I guess you'd say, you and I have had the luxury of seeing them back in the back of the barn, so we kind of know a little bit of what they're going to look like. And some of them are wanting to kind of get out here and go a little quick. But if you can get here, I definitely get here, or at least call some of us that are getting to see them, because these in real life, those are some hogs that you definitely need to look at.
I think they're going to run us one more Johns before we get into another group. This last one of John's will be a tag 65, will be an all-out trumpet. Mother was the $25,000 PT purchase that the winners made. And I will tell you, that gilt got kind of sick, and I don't know how much they got out of her showing her and stuff, Ryan, but I do remember that gilt as a baby, and she is impressive. And she raised one, I think, that Holden made the sale with last year at OA. So
I think that's right, and I had seen this one earlier, and again, this calico here, you talk about just skull shape for a calico, great big kind of bone and feet, and you study that one's hind leg and the way it goes and the way it flexes and bends appropriately. That calico there is very impressive.
All right, so we'll get off the mullet now, and we'll go to Childers. Cole, are you running 75 and 76 first? Okay. So 75 and 76 that he's going to run first, they're coming out right now. These are cash money in-game kingpin. I don't know if any of you watched the expo or saw the expo or don't live under a rock, but the mother of these would be the mother of the $110,000 gilted expo.
Yeah, I was at Cole's house here about a week ago, and he said he was going to bring this pair to this sale. And I'm telling you, knowing their pedigree and what they have on paper is one thing, and then yet at the same time to see these gilts in person, look at the stoutness and look at the extension. They're so flexible and good in terms of their lines and the way they get out and go. Very nice pair of gilts, and again, that paperwork behind them alone, that makes them just all the more reason to try to come look at them, or to get a hold of some of us and talk about them even more in depth.
I told a guy on the phone this morning, we're talking about this white-bellied one here. I don't even know what tag number that is, but this be 75, I guess, is the white belly. Yeah, 75, the white-bellied one. I said, we all want to talk about, well, they're sound or they're stout or whatever. I said, she just looks like the kind that wins pig shows to me.
Agree. That one is one, like I say, I was at Cole's, I don't know, probably 10 days ago or a week, but he turned them out, and she is the kind that, you gravitate towards in a hurry.
Okay. I'm going to roll back into some more of Cole's here. I think Cole's got 7 or 8 of them here. This would be 78 and 79. And are these 7 litter? These are 8 litters. 8 litters. So these are Judgment Day Stay Classies. I remember the 8s and the 7s at his house the other day, and there was a thin-belted gilt that was really impressive. She was quite a bit skinnier than this when I was there. But 78 and 79, Judgment Day Stay Classy. Nice pair of pigs.
Yeah, another very good pair, and again, just study the stoutness that they have about their skull and their head shape. That's what I like about them. Extremely good in bone and foot. This thin belted gilt, I mean, you get her lined out, and that's what as Kelsey gets that one kind of shooting across the middle of the ring there. That one is very impressive. You talk about inside herself, the way she needs to be from behind, flexible, good, nice gilt here, and that's the same thing can be said about that male as well, and that thing has got some great big kind of feet underneath him. So
and really good push off his hind leg. I told somebody I thought this gilt was incredibly impressive. I said she's the tallest shouldered, shortest backed pig that you'll find that still has good flex and set up front.
I agree.
So, and a lot of push and hind leg in this 79, this male. I mean, man, that thing's really impressive. So. All right. All right, Cole now bring us some My Intention Dirty Secrets. That's tag 77, which will be the wider belted one, is My Intention's Dirty Secret. That's an impressive pig. And then Kelsey is on 80, and this 80 is a picture of this Goosebump. So that would have been a partnership sow they have with Gen 1 that they paid like $15,000 for, I think, from Final Drive. So.
I seen this one last night, this gilt, and I'm just going to tell you, this is one impressive kind of an individual. Not to take anything away from that black-headed one, but that gilt, you talk about one that is built for the times, if you will, and built for the right time right now, because that one, in terms of just balance and proportion, and so good. Her hind leg, the way she gets out and goes, is so sound, so flexible, tremendous kind of a gilt. And, you want to say maybe she's a little green, but, man, look at that noggin, look at that skull. That one's going to get all the sound you want.
She's really not even that green. She's just a pounds lighter pig, but, man, she is impressive. And this is a good black-headed pig, too. I mean, a very, very good black-headed pig. He looks like a show bear that gets along every weekend.
Yep, that gilt's mom is also the mom of that Foster's pig there.
All right, Childers is bringing us 74, and that's the last one. And if you lived anywhere in southwest Oklahoma last year, you got to see pigs that looked just like this one show every single weekend. And if you were getting beat by them every weekend, it started to get almost annoying. But these are full sibs to those blue ones that he won all those Southwest Point shows with, and one down there at that first show, the red shaving show and stuff. Yep. These be State of the Union best kept secret. This be the only 2 litter that he's offering here.
We talk about them blue ones all the time, but there was also a belted one, I think, that was made as well. Yep. And this one right here looks so similar to what them blue ones look like. As Tyler said, I think we got to see them 9 weekends in a row almost, and those things just fed and were so good all the way through, shape and power and yet bone and foot. This one right here, in terms of the way he utilizes and handles his hind leg, is very, very good. That one is stout. I mean, big chest, big forearm in that one. Very impressive kind of a male.
Yep, very, very good. Okay, now we're going to run you all-ins, and then I believe we're done. 81, 82, 83. Yep, these will be the all-in consignments, and then we'll be finished up. I will again say we'll have another viewing in Mill tonight, another viewing in Mill tomorrow at noon. If you like what you're seeing on the live feed, get here and see them in person. Eat some of Hicks's food. I think these are all litter mates. Yep.
You can look at the collective Facebook page as well.
Yes.
It's somewhere on there. Our numbers are listed if you need to get a hold of us, or especially on the showpig.com where they're labeled there. All of our numbers are listed if you need to call us individually and discuss anything.
So this would be 81 through 83, and it would be the Karma clone, Blackbeard Karma Outman. So a really line bred set here that they bring us. And I don't know what number this one is that Brett's on. 82. That was an impressive pig in the pen. We'll try to get you some notches here. Kelsey's on 81. Brett's on 82. The other one be 83.
Yep. And again, very impressive set. That 82 pig, I'm telling you, when that one comes right at you, that one is powerful. That one is stout, wide, big forearm kind of, and yet once again, the pedigree, the way it reads, it kind of has dictated the way their skull shape and neck is, and it's awfully good. That kind of skull shape and that kind of extension up front, cleanness that they have to that jaw and to that throat latch, just tremendous in there. There's maybe one that's a little bit greener, and yet at the same time, that's a great big chest and a great big wide center body for one that's still a little green behind. So real neat trio here. Again, you got any questions on any of these or anything that you've seen in the two different Facebook feeds, please feel free to reach out to any of us.
Thanks.